roll 'em.
What's up, Doc? What's cooking? What's up, Doc? Oh, you're looking for Bugs Bunny bunting. Duck is gonna hunting just to get a rabbit skin, but now the rabbit's gonna get. What's up, Doc? What's cooking? Hey, look out! Stop! You're gonna hurt someone with that old shotgun. What's up, Doc? We really mean it. What's up,
Hello, friends. Are you ready?
What's for dinner? I'm hungry.
Yum, 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 yum.
Delicious.
Let's go, everybody. Yay! Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Zoe's Blind Kitchen Corner. As always, you can reach me at zoesblindkitchencorner@gmail.com or whoseblindlifeisanyway@gmail.com. If you're watching this on either channel, please like and share this video or subscribe to one of the channels or both of our channels, mine and Victor's. We appreciate the support as always. Okay, so I'm actually going to do two recipes in one episode because they're easy. They're both vegan. It's a Friday. I've already mentioned what that means for Orthodox Christians. The only thing I want to mention is I've mentioned that these episodes are pre-taped. If I were to air this video in the sequential number of taping, you would probably see this in December or January. I don't want you guys to see this in December or January because it's a summer recipe. We're actually going to go out into the garden during this video. So I think that it's better that you guys see this at least in the next few weeks, at least late summer. Now, due to unforeseen circumstances, this may air in December or January. I'm really going to try to get this to air end of August, early September. So if I can't, please forgive me, but you'll have the instructions for next summer. Or if you buy ingredients from the supermarket, because some of the summer ingredients that we get from the garden, we can always find at the supermarket all year round. So it's not like if you see this video in December, you can't make these recipes. Okay, so first things first, we're going to make, I love artichokes. I love artichokes with rice. I love artichokes pickled artichokes. I basically love artichokes any way I can get them. We're gonna go back to my favorite Greek brand, which I've showed you guys before or actually you may not have seen this video when you see this one. I use this brand a lot. Forget what I'm telling you because you're probably going to see this before you see me advertising this brand. So there's a Greek brand called Barba Stathis. It means Uncle. Stathis is a Greek name. Uncle Stathi. Okay? And he's got a whole bunch of frozen vegetables. So green peas, carrots and peas, artichokes with carrots, spinach with rice, just a whole bunch. The one we're making today.
Other way. Turn it around. There we go.
All right. This one is called aguinares a la polita. So aguinares is the Greek word for artichoke. And I'll just say that slower. Aguinares. That's the Greek word for artichokes. This is a 600-gram package, and this is actually a mix in here. It's potatoes, artichokes, carrots. So it's a mixed vegetable thing. Now, one package, I would say, serves 2 people comfortably. But as I've said before, I have more people to feed, so I'm going to make a double dose. In the description box, I think I will put the recipe for one package. So the the description box will say 600 gram package of Barba Stathis aguinares a la polita. It'll say half a cup of olive oil, one juice of one lemon, salt and pepper to taste, and it'll say 1 cup of water plus 1/5 cup. And I will tell you, because there's no such thing as a 1/5 measuring cup, I have actually worked it out to 47 grams of water. So I will give you for one package, but if you want to make more, just like me, you're going to double the dose. So for example, for the 1/5 cup, I did 47 plus 47 grams. That comes to 94 grams of water. So I'm going to add 2 cups and 94 grams because I'm making a double dose. Okay, let's get started because there's some other things we're going to do today. So because I'm making a double dose, I have a half a cup in my hands, a measuring cup. So I need for 2 doses, so for 2 packages, I need 1 full cup of olive oil. But because you don't put it all in at once, I'm going to use the half cup to start. So I'm going to grab my olive oil, my half cup measuring cup, and I'm going to move over to my nonstick pot, which is on a cold burner. Now, I know I tell you guys normally put something under your cup so that if you have a spill. I'm just going to do this over the pot because if I get a few extra drops, it's okay. So I put my hands over the pot and I have my thumb in my cushion of the thumb at the edge, and I'm pouring olive oil into the half a cup until I feel the oil get to the top. And as always, I'm using my, my hands got oil on them now and I'm not sure. Yeah, I think a little more. Because I ended up spilling olive oil on my thumb, so it's hard for me to feel when it gets to the top. Let's see. I think that's good enough for now. Alrighty, half a cup of olive oil goes in, and I'm not worried if I'm a little short because we're going to put more in. It doesn't have to be exact. So I'm going to turn my heat on to high. Whoops. Okay. And I should get a plate for this measuring cup so we don't get oil all over the place. Alrighty. And I'm going to open up I've had my artichoke mixture, frozen artichoke mixture, on my counter for about 20 minutes because you know when it's frozen, it all clumps together. So I wanted to get it to unclump a little bit. So I've had it sitting on my counter for about 20 minutes. Still frozen. If you want to do, half an hour, that's fine too. Okay. And dump it into the oil that's warming up. Okay. And we'll throw that into the sink and put it in the garbage later. And now I'm going to open up the second package. Okay. And I'm just dumping it in. Now, because this is frozen, look, I'm picking up a huge chunk. It's like a whole bunch of stuff stuck together, artichokes and potatoes and carrots. So even half an hour on your counter will help this. Okay, so it's starting to sizzle. We can hear it. And I'm just gonna put my scissors away and I'm gonna grab I'm gonna grab a wooden spoon because I seem to remember everything before we start these recipes. except for one item, and this is the one item. I need my timer. You need to saute this for approximately 7 minutes. Okay, so I've pressed start on my timer. Now, you can't really stir this up because it's frozen. So you're going to wait a little bit for the oil to fry and defrost the artichoke mixture that's at the bottom of the pot. You can't really mix anything, so you got to wait a little bit. Now, if you're afraid of burning, just turn it down a little bit. I'm not. This is very frozen. Okay, I'm trying to fold it over. Like I said, it's really cold, so I'm just going to let that sizzle. I'm going to use 2 lemons in this recipe, so while that's sizzling and I have time, I'm just going to cut up my lemons. And I've told you guys before, you just roll the lemons on the counter with your the palms of your hands. If they're really tough, you can use your arms to help roll. Whoops, what did I just do? Okay. All right, I'm just going to cut the lemons in half. There's one. And there's the other. We're going to need this knife for later. And I'm going to grab my lemon squeezer. Now, before I stir, I'm going to go back to my pot and give it another stir. And I'm starting to smell the ingredients, so they're starting to defrost. And I'm just trying with my spoon, with my wooden spoon, wherever I feel like really big chunks, I'm trying to push them to the bottom. Okay, now I'm gonna squeeze the lemons and have them ready. So, oh, yeah, gotta remove the cap first. So my lemon squeezer has a plastic cap on top, which I forgot to remove. So I'm just going to squeeze the lemons. And try to get, well, you know, again, lemon is to taste. I try to get out all the, I try to get out all the juice. I love lemon juice. And I love food with lemon in it. So I try to get as much out as possible. If you're not a big fan of lemon, you don't mind a little bit, do 1 lemon. If you're, I mean, obviously for 1 package, it's 1 lemon. For 2 packages, it's 2 lemons. So if you're doing 1 package and you're not a big fan of lemon, by all means, go ahead and put half a lemon. The instructions are for 1 lemon. And I haven't finished my lemons, but I want to give my artichoke mixture, and I'm starting to feel it soften up. Give it another mix so we don't burn it. Okay, and we're going to go back to the lemons. I've already done 1.5 lemons, so I'm doing my last piece. Okay, our lemon juice is ready. I'm just going to dump out the seeds from the sifter, because we're going to need this again for our other recipe. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to put this back on. You just have to line it up. Okay, let's go back to the pot. See, there's one little, really frozen, stubborn chunk that I can feel that's refusing to fall apart. But there's only 1 or 2 stubborn chunks, So I'm gonna turn down the heat a little bit to medium high, because now some of my, excuse me, some of my vegetables are really soft and I don't want them to burn. And we've only got 2 minutes on our timer, so if they're not totally dissolved, please don't worry about it. They will dissolve when we're boiling. And I'm just trying to help them along now by constantly jabbing at them with my spoon. Whoops. And folding and stirring. See that stubborn one there? Alrighty. Now the package does say saute for 5 to 7 minutes. And it says medium high. I did the first 5 minutes on high. So I'm doing the last 2 minutes on medium high. I've got 2 packages in here and I've got a couple of stubborn frozen ones. But we're pretty much good. And I think I remember, I'm not sure. I don't know, this is just so good. I just love this stuff. But I think there's dill in here as well. There's onion, carrots, potatoes, artichokes, and I think there's a little bit of dill. And what a beautiful, you can get, of course we said you can get this at the Greek bakeries. You just ask for the brand and they will help you. You tell them artichokes, you know, with carrots and potatoes, and they'll give it to you. And I know that some of you probably can't get to a Greek bakery, but for those of you who can, I'm sorry, but I really needed to show this brand. This brand, it's imported from Greece. It's amazing, and they have a lot of wonderful frozen vegetables. So, our time is up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alrighty. So, the first thing I'm gonna do is pour in the lemon juice. Alrighty. And I'm just holding it over the pot and tipping the lemon sifter. And in went the lemon. Now I'm going to put this aside because we still need it. Now, we need another ½ cup of olive oil. So again, I'm going to go over the pot and fill my half cup measuring cup with olive oil. And again, if it's a little more than or a little less, it doesn't matter. This is, even though the recipe tells you ½ cup of oil, if it's, you know, a couple of drops less, it's not a big deal. And some people actually might make this and decide that they don't want this much oil in their food. So it's up to you guys. We like the lemon juice with the oil and the water and everything. It becomes a nice sauce that you can slop up with bread. Alrighty. We've got our oil in, lemon juice is in. We no longer need the measuring cup or the plate that I had it on. And I do need a napkin now because I've got oil all over my fingers. Now, pepper and sea salt. Salt is to taste. I use sea salt. I've told you guys sea salt is not that strong. So I'm just going to put in a teaspoon of sea salt. Table salt might be much stronger, so be careful. Depends what you're using, okay? So salt is done. We don't need that. And we've got pepper. Woo. Okay, good. That was just my timer, guys. 2 pinches of pepper. And again, it's to taste. We're happy with 2 pinches. What do I do with my cap? Anyways. Okay, I've got my 94 grams of water in a bowl. So over the pot and in it goes. Now, I'm going to turn the heat down to medium because I still have more water to put in. So, I'm going to make room. Okay, and I'm going to grab my jug of water. Remember, you guys do it with tap water. That's fine. And because I don't want to spill it, I'm going to grab a bowl. And I'm going to fill up my measuring cup. I don't care if I lose water in the sink, but I'm going to dump my 1 cup of water in my bowl. And I'm going to take it over to my pot. Dump it in. And I need 1 more cup. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go over to my sink. Now you might be using the tap. It's the same idea. Fill up your measuring cup. I'm going to pour it into my bowl. And I'm going to move back to my pot and dump it in. Okay, now I'm going to turn up the heat to high because we need to bring this to a boil. Excuse me. So, we've got a teaspoon of sea salt, 2 packages of the artichoke, frozen Barba Stathis artichoke a la polita. That's what it's called. This carrot potato mixture. We've got juice of 2 lemons, 1 cup of olive oil, 2 pinches of pepper. And that's all our ingredients. Once this comes to a boil, we're going to turn it down to medium and we are going to boil it for 35 minutes covered. So, while we're waiting for that to boil, I'm going to talk to you guys about my second recipe. I just grabbed a plate to put my wooden spoon on. And I need to get rid of this water. Well, I'll leave it here for now. Okay. Our second recipe. I may have to put you guys on hold for the second recipe because it might be a little time consuming, but I am gonna do it. So, we're making a lettuce salad. What we in Greek, of course, call maroulo salata. Marouli is the word for lettuce. Salata, with a T instead of a D, is the word for salad in Greek. And together, you put it together, it's maroulo salata. Now, there's a few different versions. It's basically romaine, finely chopped romaine lettuce, fresh, sliced up green onions. Excuse me. That's your base. Now, some people add cucumber. I'm going to add cucumber. And a lot of people in Greece, most people in Greece add dill, fresh dill. I don't have it, so I'm not going to add it. And sometimes my husband's not a big fan. So we usually do just the lettuce and onions, and sometimes I throw in the cucumber. And then your base is lemon juice and olive oil, or vinegar and olive oil and salt. So I'm actually going to do that because I planted a garden. Sorry, I'm just listening and I can hear it boiling. So I'm going to turn it down to medium. Okay, I'm going to cover the pot. I'm going to set the timer for 35 minutes. Oops, that's okay, 36 minutes, that's okay. Okay, so the timer's set, and that's it for this recipe. You've got a meal in basically under 40 minutes, and you have no chopping to do other than lemons. So back to our salad, I'm gonna grab, I have a very sharp knife, and I have a huge stainless steel bowl, and we're gonna actually go out into the garden. So at the beginning of spring, I planted a garden. Now you're gonna see my back because I'm going down the stairs, but you can hear my voice. I planted a garden with tomatoes and cucumbers and onions and lettuce and zucchini and oregano and spearmint and God knows what else. I can't remember what else. So we're gonna go to the garden in the backyard. Bear with me, because I'm blind and I need to find the door to my garden. All right. And it's very hot today, by the way. Of course, the day I choose to do my videos, it's scorching hot. Let's see. So I've come to my garden door and I'm gonna open. I should have had a garden basket, but I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna set my bowl down on the ground and I've got cucumbers here. So this, my second row of cucumbers, there's a cucumber that's ready and it's, I will find it in a second. Alrighty, it's back here. Do you see it? So it's back here. So, I mean, this could be bigger, but for today it's good. It's got a very thick stem. You can use a scissors on this. I'm gonna use a knife. I put the knife under the stem, pull my hand away, and chop it off. And there's our cucumber. Okay, so cucumber's ready. Now I'm gonna move over here. I don't need the knife for this, but I've got tomatoes, and let me just figure it out. Okay, I've got onions right here. Now, the way you know your onions are ready, you feel, this is the green parts that you feel sticking out of the ground. And then if you put your finger down here, this part is where the white part is. Now, if I let these grow, they'll grow even longer. But because I want to make a salad today, I'm just gonna grab them and pull them out. There you go. 2 onions. Now, here's the root. I can just cut that off with my knife and I can just bury it back in. It doesn't matter what you do. We're gonna wash these. So there's your onion. So that's not enough for our salad. So I'm gonna move over here now. Now here's a bunch of onions, but this one, if the camera can see it, hold on. This one here is not quite ready. I mean, I can feel the white part, but these ones back here, this one back here is nice and fat. So this one's gonna give me more. I'm not gonna cut these ones, I'm gonna cut this one. So I'm just gonna pull it out now. Oh, there you go. So I pulled out another onion, and there's one back here that's ready. Yeah, and I'm gonna pull this one out as well. There you go. And I'll just, where's my knife? I'm just gonna cut off the root part again. Okay. Obviously you can see there's a lot of sand in my bowl, soil in my bowl and sand. We're gonna wash, don't worry. Okay, we're gonna go down to the lettuce now. Now I wanna tell you that when I went to the store in the spring, I asked for romaine lettuce. Greeks love romaine lettuce. When my parents moved here in the 70s, they had no idea what iceberg lettuce was. They were looking at it and going, what is that? In Greece, now I think now they know what iceberg lettuce is, but romaine lettuce is what we eat. We asked for romaine lettuce. This might be in the family of romaine lettuce, but it's not romaine lettuce. This has got a thick stem in the middle. Romaine lettuce doesn't have this thick stem, and this thick stem is bitter. And here on top, you can feel it feels all like little tiny balls, little tiny prickly balls. This is the actual, the budding of the plant. So these, you would either cut these off to maybe strengthen the plant, maybe get more leaves, or whatever. So this is still good. It's still lettuce. It's just not romaine. So I'm going to find the bottom of it all the way down here in the soil. And I'm going to put the knife as close to the soil as possible. I'm going to move my hands away and I'm going to slice through. It's a little bit hard. Now, there could be bugs on this. Let's shake it. Shake it. Tap, 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 tap. So I'm just, with my hands, I'm banging the sides of the leaves in hopes that if there's any bugs, they'll fall out. And if not, you can take them out with your hands. So but this is not enough for one salad because, like I said, this is not really romaine lettuce. This is a different type. Okay, this one cut off, good. Okay, so I'm gonna move. I'm gonna leave this one because this one could get taller. Here's one that has a little more leaves. And I'm gonna go back down to the bottom, put my knife close to basically laying on the soil. You can hold it at a certain, away from the knife. My hand is 3-4 inches away from the knife. I'm holding it, and there we go, we cut it. Let's bang again, shake out, and bang. Get rid of any bugs in here. And I do organic farming, organic gardening, so I don't use pesticides. Okay, and we're gonna cut one more. And it'll be the one behind the one I just did. This one here. And again, same thing. Lay your knife on the soil, put your hand 4 or 5 inches on top and hold the lettuce in place and slice through. There you go. And we'll put the knife in our bowl and give it a shake again. So I'm just shaking it upside down. I'm turning it upside down and shaking it, and then I'm banging the sides with my hands. So at least any big bugs can come out. Alrighty. So we've got our vegetables in our bowl, and we're gonna head back into the house. Now I hope that we'll be able to do a tomato salad soon. Our tomatoes are not quite ready yet. And if we do a tomato salad, it'll be nice because we'll do what's called a Greek village salad. By the way, for those of you who can see, these are my hydrangeas. They're monsters, and they've got blooms everywhere. How do I know? I feel them. Now, this whole time that we were in the garden, our other dish is boiling. Alrighty. Oof, oof. Nice to be back in the air conditioning. Oof, oof. Alrighty. Now, I need to make room. We don't need the pepper. We finished with that, so we can just put it aside. I'm gonna move the water jug, set my bowl. Now, I'm just gonna move whatever's in my sink into my small sink. Now, you're gonna pick up the lettuce, you're gonna remove a stalk, a leaf. You're just gonna remove the leaf. Don't remove the big thick stem in the middle. If you're doing this at home and you use tap water, you're gonna run your tap water, and with your thumbs, I want you to basically get whatever's off the leaf. Sand, bugs, whatever's off the leaf. So run it under cold water. Sorry, mine went to hot. Run it under cold water and make sure you get everything off. Now, I don't use tap water. I did that for you guys. Have paper towels ready. I'm just gonna set them on my counter, and every leaf I wash, it's gonna go on my paper towel so it can dry. You don't want to put wet, dripping water, wet lettuce into your bowl. That's terrible. Okay, so there it goes. Now, in my case, because I don't use tap water, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to peel off each leaf and throw it into a big stainless steel bowl like this. So it feels like a big branch, like a tree. It feels like a thick branch, and it's got leaves on the sides. You just pull off the leaves with your hands. So I'm just putting them into a bowl. Now, if you're feeling uncomfortable with the bug situation, scrub them a little bit with a brush with your hands, wash them, and have a sighted person pick through them. Unfortunately, guys, if your fingers are that sensitive that you can feel the bugs, that's great. If your fingers are not that sensitive, or you think, what if I miss any? You don't want to be eating bugs. So the best way is to do it yourself, and then maybe get a sighted person just to pick over them and say, oh, here's one with a bug on it. Like you missed a bug. So when you buy them from the supermarket, they're usually pre-washed. So there's really no sand, no bugs. It does happen on a rare occasion, but usually when you get them from the supermarket, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. I still wash my produce because, well, I don't like the chemicals they use and I want to get them off. And the other thing is I buy organic. So in my lettuce, even from the supermarket, it's always got sand. So actually sand is not the right word, soil. So I always wash them really well. Now I'm going to, let me just finish this because I want to show you guys just how I do it. I'm almost done this particular branch, and I'm not going to do all three on camera. I'm just, all this time that I'm talking to you guys, I'm peeling the leaves off the main stem. And I did try this main stem. I chopped off a piece and I tried it, and it's very bitter. However, if you like bitter stuff, have a couple of bites. I don't know. Is it good for you? I don't know. I've never had this lettuce before. Like I said, I asked for romaine and I didn't get romaine, but we've had this before and it's pretty good. It's not exactly romaine, but it's close. So I'm not going to let it go to waste, and anything made by God that's green is healthy for you. Now I'm right at the top of the stem, so I'm pulling off really tiny leaves. I may not even have to chop those ones. Okay, we're pretty much done. So my branch is totally empty of leaves. I've just got a really thick stem in my hands. So I'm just going to put that aside. And I'm going to take my jug of water. Whoops, whoops, whoops. My lettuce is falling all over the place. And I'm just going to fill this bowl with water. Fill it up. Nice cold water. Now, you're going to put your hands in the water, push these down, just like I did under the sink. Rub them, and try to get off whatever's on here. So I'm doing exactly what I did under the tap, but in a bowl of water. Now, you can do this once or twice if you're not confident about the bugs and you don't have a sighted person. See, to me, this, it feels nice and smooth. I don't feel like there's any bugs on here. I don't feel anything. Anything on here? Mm-mm. See? So there's nothing on here. So, for right now, I'm going to tell you guys that in 35 minutes, I'm just gonna pull my food off the burner. There's nothing else to do with that particular dish. So I will just show you it when it's ready and served. So I'm gonna put you guys on hold so I can wash and all this lettuce, and then I'm gonna come back and show you how to make this salad. So let me wash my salad and I'll see you guys in a little while. Okay guys, so our food is done. The 35 minutes was up and I left it on the burner and just turned off the heat. And I washed all my lettuce leaves. I peeled my cucumber, and my mom's actually cutting it up while we speak, but I left some things so I can show you. So I've got a bowl here and I've got a cucumber in my hand. Now this cucumber, it's warped. It's medium fat at one end, then it gets really thin, and then it gets really fat. So if you were to slice it up, that's okay. That's a pretty good bite size. My mom and my husband like half moon pieces. So I'm going to slice vertically right through the cucumber all the way to the bottom. So now I've got 2 pieces of cucumber. Now, if you want to seed your cucumbers, go right ahead. I don't. These seeds are delicious and they're edible, and this is organic gardening, and I don't need to get rid of them. So as I slice through, you get half moon pieces, and you can do them as thick or as thin as you like. So you just slice up your cucumber. And I just want to tell you guys, I want to mention again while I'm slicing up the cucumber, that the Greeks in Greece do romaine lettuce. I mentioned this, but romaine lettuce, green onions, and dill. And most Greeks do olive oil, vinegar, and salt. And that is your lettuce salad. Now, there's a few people who add cucumber like me. I don't have dill, so I'm not adding it. Now, for those who can see, for those of you who are blind and can't see, but for those of you who can see, you saw me tossing something there. So as I'm holding the cucumber and I'm slicing, a couple of seeds got stuck to my hand. So I'm just tossing them in the sink. Now this is a really fat part, so I'm just gonna slice through this and slice it up. So now I'm gonna have half moon pieces and triangle pieces. Who cares? See? Some seeds came out onto my hands. Just dump them in the sink. And if you don't like the seeds or you think they're too fat, that's a preference thing. I do know that most people seed their cucumbers. The English cucumbers that you get at the supermarket, I never seed those. You can't taste anything. Yeah, I don't seed. Just like I didn't in my tzatziki episode recipe. Okay, so I'm almost done the cucumber. And it just, again, another fat part, so I'm cut right through it so I can just cut triangles. And I'm slicing really fast. I'm not going to go into the description of how I do it because I've done this before with the blind people. You know, I use my hand as a guide. I use my knife that isn't very sharp. So I've got my cucumber all done. Now, my lettuce, I have it drying. This way? Mm-hmm. I don't have a salad spinner. I keep saying I'm going to get one, but I don't have one. And in the olden days, they didn't have salad spinners. This is what they did. They put it on paper towel to dry. So I've got it on paper towel. So each leaf, when you pick it up, it feels like the romaine lettuce leaves. They're just not as, the stem in the middle is thinner and not hard. So you take the leaf into your hand, and this is for the blind people. Sighted people know how to do this. And you put stem on top of stem. So you put one leaf into the other. So just the leaves on top of each other. So you're stacking the leaves. The stem is in the middle and you're just stacking the leaves. And you can feel the stem. And it doesn't matter if they're different sizes. You can kind of start with the bigger ones and then go to the smaller ones. Like I got a big one in my hands. Now I'm going to put it on the outside. So I'm putting it at the bottom of the stack. And then I gotta lift the paper towel. Okay, and then this is a big one too, so I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the stack. So I've got a stack in my hands, and I'm just stacking. This is smaller, so I'm gonna put it at the top of the stack. So each one is going into each other, right? So I'm just laying them flat on top of each other. And when you think that you've got as much as you can hold in your hands, you close them up, so you fold them. So on one side are all your stems, and on the other side is all your leaves. You fold them, gently twist, make them skinny. So I'm just twisting them all up, and then you go over your bowl and you start snipping. Now we like our lettuce fine. So I'm just gonna, so I snipped off, not snipped off, I sliced off, and look, I've got a nice long piece of lettuce that's nice and thin. So that's how you chop up your lettuce. You roll it, you stack them on top of each other, and then you kind of roll them into a bunch, and you just slice through as thin or as thick as you'd like. Greek traditional maroulo salata, the lettuce should be thinly sliced. So I'm thinly slicing it. And this way that you're doing it, you're doing like 10 leaves at a time? As much as your hand can hold. Like I actually just did this now to show you guys. My hand could have held more. And you just slice through it. And this is how you do the traditional romaine lettuce as well from the supermarket, okay? So this is for traditional, and when you get to the thick part of the stems, it's a little harder to cut. This is how you do traditional romaine lettuce, maroulo salata. So I'm just grabbing my next batch. Actually, I showed you guys how to do the lettuce. Mom? Oh, she's not there. Okay. Τελειώσεις αυτά για να κάνω το κρεμμύδι. Okay. So I'm just going to hand the rest off because I showed you how to do the one batch. I'm going to hand off the rest to my mom so I can show you guys the onion. Okay? And the only reason I'm showing you the onion is because it's fresh from the garden and I've never showed you how to clean an onion. I believe I've never showed you. If I have, forgive me for repeating. Is that it? Mm-hmm. Okay, forgive me for repeating myself. And for the sighted people again, forgive me for taking up your time. So, this is from the garden, the way we took it out. And it's got, at the top, roots, just like it does at the supermarket. So, I'm going to slice that off. And of course, you are going to slice off a little bit of the onion to get the root off. So, that goes off. Now, here's a piece that's hanging. It's not really even a good piece. And it's you can feel the slimy skin of the onion under it. So you're going to pull that off, throw it out. Now you feel the white part. See if you can feel any more slime. I feel a little bit more. I'm going to pull it off. Okay, that's good enough. Now it's all nice and clean and smooth. Now, flip the onion with the stemmy part. Not the hard part. The hard part is vertically down. The stemmy part on top. So the green part that feels all pointy. I want you guys, because you can't see, I want you to cut off the tips of these because from the wind, they could be yellow and they could be a little hard. So you just go a little bit down. There's no rule and snip off. So I sliced off. I go to the next stem. Now, sometimes even at the supermarket, you go to cut it, let's say you pick a spot and you go to cut it and it's tough to cut. If it's tough to cut, go further towards the white part, towards the root, and then try cutting. If it's too tough, keep going up down the green part. Because these are from the garden, they're very tender, so they're beautiful. I just need to slice off the ends. So there's 2, and there's 3. There's a little one hiding in here. 4. And if you miss one, you'll figure it out when you're slicing it. 5. No, it's a little tough there. 6. See, I got a tough part. So I just went down the stem until I found a tender part. 7. There you go. So now it's all, let's say, cleaned, but now you got to wash it. And washing an onion is no big deal. You just run it under water. And I'm just going to grab my jug of water. You guys are going to do it under the tap. And I'm just rubbing the white part under the water with the with my fingers, and same with the green parts, and give them a good rinse, just to get off any sand or anything that might be on here. And again, the supermarket ones are pre-washed usually, but please wash them anyway. Now these are so tender that a couple of them are ready to fall off, and I mean the green parts, but that's okay. And then just take your bowl, we've washed it, and slice your onion. And slice, slice, slice. You're just slicing. Now I'm slicing the tough part, the white part, what's called the white part of the onion. It's the tough part. And believe me, it's very tasty. I already tasted them. They're a little hot with sweet. Okay, I don't like that because it's not cutting well, so I'm just going to throw that out. So I felt the tough part and I just threw it out. And I'm just slicing up. And I've done the white part almost. There's a little bit left. But now I'm at the green parts too. Just hold them in your hands in place all together and slice. And you'll slice off whatever. There's how many here? 7 we said? 7 green parts. Just go right through and slice. And you're slicing all of them up at the same time. And you can do it as thick or as thin. I usually do my onions a little thin, but my mom complained that she wants them thicker because she wants to be able, she wants to be able to taste the onion, especially since it's from the garden. And it's got a much better taste. So I'm cutting them up a little thicker than usual. But again, it's a preference thing. Okay, so I'm almost done the onion. I'm just slicing through. Okay, and it smells, the onions smell fantastic. Okay. Okay, we're done cutting up our salad. My mom's done the rest. I just wanted to show you guys. I'm just getting it all. So I'm just going to grab the cut up salad for a second. Hold on. Yeah. I know. Okay, so here's a bowl of our cut up lettuce and onions, and I'm going to throw everything that I cut up as well. The onions and cucumbers in. Okay. Now, if your salad is too much and you think you're not going to eat it all, put some aside, mix it all up, put some aside, and put it in the fridge and make it the next day. But if you do make it with the olive oil and vinegar or olive oil and lemon juice, if you do make it and there's leftover, it may wilt, but believe me, it tastes just as good the next day, maybe even better, even though it's wilted, because the ingredients have soaked in that vinegar or lemon or, the olive oil. Okay, so I'm going to start with, actually here, olive oil, okay? You're just going to, this is really to taste. I'm just holding the bottle over and I'm sprinkling olive oil all around the salad. Is there any more in here? Yeah. We need a little bit more, but for now, for the video, this is fine. And I'm gonna grab my lemon. Here's my knife. Now, I'm gonna start with half a lemon. Most people in Greece use vinegar. I'm telling you guys right now. But my husband and my mother, they love this salad with lemon juice. I don't mind either or. I like both. Okay, half a lemon. Sorry, I just felt a couple of seeds. Half a lemon. In it goes. So we've got our olive oil and lemon. And we need salt. Again, I use sea salt. So whatever you want. And I'm just going around my bowl and pouring sea salt. Okay. Grab a fork. Grab a spoon. And toss. Toss the salad. Spoon is on one side, fork is on the other side, and you just bring them, you scoop down and bring them together and up in the air and let go. And you're tossing your salad. You're mixing all the ingredients up together. Now, I'm sure this isn't enough olive oil for us. This is to taste. Okay, and at this point you would taste. So you would take your fork, grab a bunch, put it in your mouth. Okay. I'm gonna put this in the, because I put it in my mouth. So, for me it's wonderful. Needs a touch olive oil more. But that's our salad. We've got, oh, I got some on the counter. How nice. Thank God again we washed our counter. Yeah, I was trying to be quick. Okay. So that's our recipe, guys. Whoops. Where's my napkins? Oh, here, let me show you guys the food. So I've got a shallow bowl. I'm going to uncover the food. I've got just a ladle, a plastic ladle. Here's our food. It smells delicious. I'm going to scoop up, put some on the plate. Whatever I get, eventually you'll get a little bit of everything, I'm sure. Some juice, some potatoes, some artichokes, some carrots, and there we go. So there's, here, make it nice. Potatoes, carrots, artichokes, lemony, oil sauce, dill, frozen, nutritious, fantastic, imported from Greece. The brand is Barba Stathis. I hope you guys have a Greek bakery or supermarket where you can get it. If not, here's an idea. Maybe you can do fresh artichokes, carrots, and potatoes and onions. Maybe saute them a little bit, add water, boil them, add dill, salt, pepper, lemon juice, lots of olive oil. And as soon as the sauce is a little thick and it's all blended and the vegetables are crisp tender, there's your artichoke a la polita recipe. And we have a nice green salad from the garden, and that's it for today. So nice summer afternoon lunch. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. I hope you guys liked my garden. And I will see you next time. I hope you're not watching this in December. But anyways, even if you are, when you're cold in the snow, if you're watching this in December, if you're cold in the snow, it'll, make you feel great that summer's around the corner, sort of. But if you're watching it in a few weeks, then, go out into your gardens if you have them, cut your lettuce and your cucumbers, and make a nice Greek marulo salata. That's it for today, guys. I love you all. A blind kiss to you, and definitely to you. See you next time. I am your host, Zoe Fiogos. With sincere love and gratitude, I thank you for watching Zoe's Blind Kitchen Corner.